All right.
Hey,
Hey.
we are live. Hello. Happy Friday, yogapreneurs. Broadcasting here from Helsingborg, Sweden. The new workspace that I found. It's got some huge windows here. It's a little bit hot though. It's still okay in March, but I just wanted to give you a little bit of a view of the space where I'm in.
It is
So
so cool, Vicky.
it's
I'm
huge
totally
windows.
jealous.
And then it's the other way. You have to look the other way. So my view, can you see the ocean there?
So
Can you see
jealous.
it? And
Yeah, I can
then
totally see it.
here's the city. That's the city hall with a big tower and the
It
Swedish
looks like a
flag.
really old building. That City Hall, is that
It's like a castle, isn't it?
yeah.
It's from 1901,
Okay,
and it's
so
like
it's
the pride of the city.
right in the city. It looks very cool. Well, so
So
in an old ancient city talking about modern things. So Vicky, what's going on with Google Ads and stuff like that? Because Vicky has
uh,
become our ads beta queen, and she's been
yeah.
learning a lot about ads and content and all that kind of stuff. So what's going on? Give us the 411.
Okay, so yeah, ads. I've been doing a lot of ads. Google, yes, but Meta even more so. Google is kind of simple once you've got it going. There's not. It's like people search and then they find you, and you've got to put some words in there talking about the value you're going to give them. But Meta, because Meta has content, you can show videos, you can show photos, you can show reels. There's a lot more that you can show people there. So I was listening a little bit to the podcast that Josh shared about a week ago, that he did with a guy called Nate. And right after Josh did that podcast, I hadn't actually listened to it before. I had a meeting with Josh, like a 3 hour meeting right after it, deciding what we're putting into our next round of ads. So now I'm connecting the two. Okay, yeah, a lot of the ideas didn't come from there because we had the ideas, but I think they were clarified. So it's really well worth it listening to that podcast. But anyways, what came out of it was, what do you put into your ads? What is the content of your ads? What's the text gonna say? And what are the pictures and videos and that gonna say? Well, I mean, if you start really basic, there's you always good to go with the grunt test. What is it? Why do I want it? How do I get it?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's always good. You can always do that. Very simple. Going a little bit further is, let's tell a story. This is how people remember, and this is how they connect to what you're offering. And this guy, Nate, that Josh was talking to, he does ads, so Meta and Google ads, actually for dentists' surgeries. And so he's trying to get people to come to a physical location, what same that we do for yoga studios, and to get a service. And so he was talking about, okay, so what is it that people buy? And he's saying they don't buy teeth. They don't
Right.
that you never talk about molars or canines, or you just you don't talk about teeth. What is it people want?
Beautiful smile.
Right?
A
They
nice
want
smile.
They want to have a nice smile. They
White
want to
teeth.
feel the white teeth. They want to how do they want to feel? They want to feel confident. Maybe they
Mm,
want to meet their boyfriend, girlfriend. They don't want to hide, put their mouth hand over their mouth when they smile.
yeah.
This is what you're selling them. So this is the story that you have to tell them. You're not going to tell them the story of, how the dentist is like drilling in your
Push.
teeth. God forbid. Like no one wants to see that or hear about that. You want to tell them the story about how someone had this like problem and how you solved it, and how that story had a happy ending. And really, like that's the same with yoga. We want to tell people a story. So how do you do that? Well, there are a few things. You can tell people about the problem. So there's like the pain or the pleasure. You can tell people about the problem, the story of the problem someone had and how that was resolved. Or, you
Like
know,
I had back pain and the yoga practice helped my back pain.
help me, right? So that's like testimonial type thing. You can tell them about the happy outcome. You can tell them about the barrier to entry. Like what's the barrier? What's a reason why someone wouldn't come into yoga? So the reason might be that they feel they don't have body confidence. They might have they don't have confidence in their performance. They don't feel confident that they're going to fit in. Like
Yeah.
maybe they're going to be judged, that the people there, they're not going to be able to be part of the community. They're going to feel
And
left
that's
out.
right. A good one too is I'm not flex. How many times have you heard I can't do yoga? I'm not flexible.
I'm
I hear
not flexible.
I'm not flexible. See, I
I'm not
can imagine you
flexible
do
enough.
a whole story about
Yeah.
I'm not flexible. Now, when you talk about Vicky, tell us a little bit about when we talk about building the story. Are we talking about several different ads that are going, so like you have like you're telling the story not in just one ad, but ideally maybe
Mhm.
over a series of
A
ads?
series of ads. So that's what we're doing now on sort of on our second round. Um, it's a series of ads. So we run them for 3 weeks. So we have three different ads. We run them for 3 weeks. Then we have three new ads. We run them for 3 weeks, and they're kind of like a series, so that people don't see just one ad and it's like repetitive. It's a few different ones, but they're kind of on the same team,
Right.
theme.
Same.
So yeah, same theme. So I talked last week about the I'm as flexible as a fridge one. So we have I am flexible as a fridge, bendy as a brick, and the flexibility of a wooden spoon. So it's a whole series. How do you show the story? So this is something that I myself have been trying to solve and figure out for a long time. And for a while, I thought, well, I have to actually make like it's going to be like a little movie. I was like
Yeah.
writing a script. Okay, so what is the problem that people have? So you're too busy. So I wrote like a script, and we made one video, and this was about sort of self-care and how this woman, she's really busy, and it's showing her activities. This was one of our students. We filmed her. She's making food, she's fixing things around the house, she's taking the dog out, she's going to work, she's doing all these things, and like she's so busy, but then like self-care, when is she going to find time? And then she goes to class, and then it's showing her in the class, and then she comes out and high fives the teacher. And it was like, I thought that was good, but I don't know, it was too complicated. It took ages to film this was like a whole
Yeah.
video production thing at her house and at the studio. It was a whole big production thing. Um, and people didn't, I don't think they really got it. I didn't really feel like that video sort of really hit it home, even though, I had all these ambitions. So what we've done now is just pick, like we made a picture reel. It's just nice pictures from the studio. Uh, the story and the message is it's in the flexible as a fridge. Here's why, you don't need to worry. One, two, three. Um, so the story is kind of in the picture or in the reel and the headline. It's really simple. We're not trying to really show some kind of progression of events here. So we've just picked like really impactful images.
Yeah.
Someone that like a picture that looks a bit funny, a weird posture, a picture where someone looks really happy. Just
So
good images.
where would somebody start? It's like there's people listening to this like, oh, this all sounds great. Where do I start? I mean, where is it just, do I just get pictures? What's the good way to start? Is it, do I schedule, where do I begin?
You got to have pictures. So if you have no pictures, it's going to be difficult. You always got to have pictures. If the studio is brand new and you have nothing, you need to set up a photo shoot. Most studios will have pictures, even the ones that don't really have loads of professional ones. We've been able to figure it out with just pulling stuff off their Instagram.
Yeah,
Because if the studio's been running for a while, there's going to be, I mean, people have been around snapping pictures.
yeah.
So just use what you have if you have some photos already. And then yeah, think about this, like barrier to entry, pain, pleasure. What can you say about it?
Yeah.
You start with a hook. So the hook is the flexible as a bridge, or
Yeah.
bend is a brick. Like think of something that's gonna hook people in. Like what is it with like one short sentence? Because that's what's gonna keep them reading. And then just take it from there and
Yeah.
set up something that's really simple. And you can go and find the video that I posted some time ago in the YC network. If you can't find it, just message me. But I go through the whole setup in
Yeah.
Meta Ads Manager. It's like a step-by-step 10-minute video. You can totally do it yourself.
And also,
If you want something more advanced and a whole campaign that's got like all the different levels, then of course you come to us. You come to the ads better and Meta better, and we do it for you.
it makes me think too, when you talk about a story, like sometimes some of the best ads, they hardly say anything.
No,
Like I watched Matthew McConaughey, who I actually, I love Matthew McConaughey. He he's because of the movie Lincoln Lawyer, Lincoln got he's been doing commercials for Lincoln's, and they're very professionally well done, but he hardly says anything in the ads at all. It's just him. There's this great ad where he's up on a road in like probably Texas, and there's a big, I think it's a Texas Longhorn, just huge, and it's in the road, and he's looking at it, and the bull is looking at him, and he's looking at the bull, and he's like, okay, so he goes, all right, all right, all right, and he ends up turning around and going the other way, right? It's a great ad, so you can get. It doesn't have to
yeah,
be super complicated. In fact,
no,
simple, wouldn't you say simple is better because you want that hook to grab people and then you
yeah.
want to be able to get that
It's literally one line of text and a great photo.
in a great photo. Yeah. And here's
Yeah,
another tip if you haven't done this is it's a good idea in your liability waiver to have a media release. A lot of students have gone to that. It's like
yeah.
oh, they're
To just
taking
have that.
pictures. Yeah, they just have that
So
in
to
there.
just have that, and you have that for everybody who joins the studio. That's like part of your waiver that everyone signs.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I actually
yeah.
got that question this week. And yeah, I was like, yeah, then of course, there might be someone who will be like, oh, don't show my picture. I might have to take
Yeah, you can
something down, but
yeah, you
yeah,
can be sensitive and to people. And if you post a picture and someone's like, oh, I don't want my picture, you just take it down. That
because
go ahead.
you want pictures of people.
Yeah,
So when
actual.
I say great pictures, I don't mean the ones of your nicely laid out yoga room with all the blocks in a row and things like that. People don't care about that. It has to be pictures of people.
They want to be able to see themselves in that
Yeah,
picture. They want to
yeah,
see what it looks like. Yeah. And then I was going to say too, if you do a professional photo shoot, then you can also have a photo release for that one. I had a professional photo shoot, and because the pictures were not so much candid as like when you're taking a picture in a studio. But yeah, you can, if you can put it in your budget, it is nice to do a professional photo shoot. And I had a photographer come in, and she was there over a course of the week and was at our different classes, and she was taking plaque pictures. We did some staged ones where we just had the students come, and we did some staged ones, and then we also just did we got to put like a ladder in the corner so she got some shots looking down, and it was really, and we let people know that. We said, hey, we're
yeah,
doing a photo shoot, these are the classes, so if you don't want to be in the photo shoot, don't come to those classes. But it was really super fun. People really got
yeah.
into it.
It's great if you can have actual pictures from people doing class. I mean, those are the best ones.
Yeah. And in the
Yeah,
lobby, hanging out,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
chatting,
All of that.
making quick little videos, things like that. So you've got a ton of content and stuff with your studio. What would be a good way? How do you promote? Because this kind of came up, like your virtual or VOD. What can you do? What kind of ads and stuff can you do? Let's say you wanted to have, and we have more and more people are moving to that platform or only doing that platform. What,
Mm.
how would you approach that? Do you think? What
Mm.
how do people
Can
approach that?
you show people doing yoga in their home?
I guess that would be one way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Watching their thing, I
I would
guess.
I would definitely do that. Show what it looks like when people do yoga at home.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Hmm, I like that. Or what else could you do? Or you could show yoga on the go. If it's VOD, you could also show people doing it in interesting locations,
Yeah.
like your workspace
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
Like that could be a cool
I might get some funny looks, but yeah.
yeah. Or at the
Pick
airport,
my moment. Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
something at the airport. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you want to show more like s- things being interactive, I don't know if it's not it's you're talking about VOD though, not actual live.
I'm thinking more VOD as opposed to
Yeah.
live stream. I'm thinking
Yeah.
more VOD, video on demand. And
Mhm.
which is also interesting. We've talked about this before, is the difference between live stream and VOD. So recorded classes are really not, I know a lot of people have their recorded classes and they offer them as, people can you watch them. But a video on demand, a VOD class is dramatically different, in my opinion, than just a
Oh
recorded
yeah.
live stream class, because a video on demand class is made specifically for people to watch it online, as opposed to we're just live streaming our in studio classes.
Mm. I mean, the live streaming of the in-studio classes that has the live element to it. So you actually have a teacher there who could potentially correct you. But when it's like when they do it a hybrid version, I
Yeah,
don't think that that much correction goes on, or
no,
like a little bit hello and goodbye. But
yeah. So
it's
how
if
mostly what
it's
I say,
hybrid, it's not gonna, yeah.
but even with a live stream, I think I do believe like the quality is better if it's filmed as a video on demand class.
Mhm. Yeah.
I think that you do get a better quality for that. Um, anyway, well, this is that. So if you're not sure about ads or know where to start, let us know. We're here to help. We do have the ads beta program, and also there's ton, as Vicky said, she's posted a bunch of stuff about. You did one on Google Ads in there, how to set up Google Ads. You did on the Meta Ads, step by step. You can work with your coach on it. Sometimes we do it on a coaching call. So the thing is, don't be afraid.
Yeah, you're not gonna break anything.
You're not going to break anything.
You're not gonna break it. Is when you get into Meta Ads Manager and everything looks really scary. Yeah, it
Yeah,
looks confusing and you don't know the answer to all the questions. Do you want this or the other? Well, I don't know what either this or the other is.
yeah,
I think that's when people get nervous.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to break. You can always take it down.
But, yeah.
You can always take it
So
down.
so
Well,
what have you been up to? What
I've
have
been,
you been up to
what
in
I've been
your
up to, lots of stuff around memberships, right? I've got one client who's in the midst of a massive membership project and is increasing the prices on the membership. And it's turned into a very big project. Well, first off, they have a ton of members. So there's that. And it wasn't just as simple as changing the price, because we reconfigured some things, and they're moving from uh, billing every month to every 4 weeks. And if for those you thinking, well, when you bill every 4 weeks, you actually get there's 13 billing cycles in a year then. So you're actually one more billing cycle in the year, because there's 52 weeks, and it's, every 4 weeks gives you 13 payments through the year. And then the other thing that someone's like, well, why would I want to do that? Well, one is you get an extra basically month of revenue, more revenue in that year. And then two, it really does make it completely equitable. Because when you think about it, if you bill once a month, some of the months are 31 days, some are only 30. February normally is 28 days. So it really does just level it out and make it just like it's 4 weeks. It's the same price every 4 weeks. It's for the exact same amount of time. So that is the big difference between billing every 4 weeks versus billing monthly. And when you switch to one, or when you switch from every 4 weeks, then you've got to get it all reset up and stuff like that. And it can be it's not so much as complicated. It's like there's a lot of boxes that have to be ticked. And one of the big
How
ones
much,
is,
how much money are we talking about? Like an extra billing cycle? Because I was like, yeah, you're right. It's actually 13 exactly.
yeah.
I mean, that's potentially thousands of dollars.
How, if you have 100 members paying $100 each, that's $10,000.
Yeah, that's worth it.
Yeah, I mean, if you have 3 or 4 or 500 members, it
Yeah,
it's quite a it's a big chunk. It's a big
it
chunk,
is. It is.
big chunk. So that's why a lot of people have moved to it. So it's like I said, it's not so much as complicated. It's just that there's a lot of boxes that have to be ticked. One of which too is if you make a change like that to your membership, then people have to acknowledge a new membership agreement. Ideally,
Do they sometimes object to this? Because I don't know, like it's different in different countries.
yeah.
But uh, in Sweden and the UK, it's very common to get paid on a certain calendar date. So you get paid on the 23rd or you get
Yeah.
paid on the 2nd. And they want, people want their bills to go out right after that date. And
Mhm.
they want their yoga bill to go out right after that date as
Yeah,
well.
there can be some pushback with that, and I get that a lot. Is like if they're used to being billed on the 8th of the month, they're not going to be billed on the 8th of the month every month. They're going to be billed every 4 weeks. And it's just like anything. It's just in how you position it. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
it you just sort of position it as, hey, we're just changing our billing cycle. We're going to be now, instead of billing monthly, we're now billing once every 4 weeks, so that it's the exact same amount of time every billing cycle. You kind of lean into that. And for the clients that I've had that have switched to that every 4 week billing, it really has not been an issue. Now, one thing you have to is whether or not your software supports that. So not every software supports billing once every 4 week. It can bill like on a 4 weekly basis. So you just have to
My
make,
my body does.
my body does.
Does Voila?
Lala doesn't.
No.
Lala, you can bill week. It's interesting. Now maybe it could be changed. Maybe it's on the roadmap to change. But currently in Walla, you can either bill once a month or once a week. Then that's another one. We've talked about that before, moving, if, thinking about going to a weekly payment. We have a couple of members in the YC have moved to a weekly payment. And I've talked about that before, just based on like my Starbucks app. I don't even think about it. It's a small bite, you know,
Yeah. And
it's
it's
like,
also the fact that if that's your intro, you don't have to do like a discounted first month. You
oh,
can, because it's so bite-sized, it's like, yeah, this is what we have. You can be
yep.
billed weekly or you can be billed monthly or every 4 weeks. But there isn't an intro.
Well, actually, I think if you go move to, and that's a good point. I think if you're going to do weekly billing, I would just do weekly. I wouldn't even offer monthly. I do weekly or yearly.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
and make it really super, super simple. It's like, this is what we have. I mean, you could do like the first week, you still could do like the first week is less expensive. Like you still could have a hook. But
You
if you're,
could, but you don't really have to because it's so bite-sized, isn't
yeah,
it?
if you did like 39 US, 39 a week,
Mm-hmm.
that's like, oh, that's not that. That's,
That's not.
that's
No.
not, that's not that much. And then, if you think about it, 39 times 4 weeks, that's $156. Right. So for some, it becomes just like you said, very bite-sized. People don't even think about it. Like the
Because it
place
can't, like, the cheap intro or the first month half price, it can make a big difference to like what you get in terms of revenue per head. Because if you sell a lot of those and then you don't have good retention, it's like you're constantly having all these new people who are paying very little
Yeah.
for their classes. And it's not great in the long run. I'm sorry, it's 10 to 5 here now, and I'm
Oh,
gonna have to
go
run
for
because
yoga.
my only weekly, it's a beautiful town, but there's not that much yoga. So the one hot yoga class that I can make, I have to run to
Okay,
make
well,
it.
go do some yoga. All right, Vicky, thanks for popping in today. We'll see you. Have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend, everyone. See you.
Bye, Vicky.
Bye-bye.
Well, it's just me, so I'm going to finish up with just on membership. We're talking about membership is one of the things I've been working a lot with clients on is setting up an easy membership cancellation funnel on their websites so that the client goes in. Because we've talked about this before, and the fact that by the time someone gets to wanting to cancel their membership, you've probably pretty much lost them. The time to get someone from canceling the membership was probably a month or two before they actually decided to cancel. And that goes to what are you doing in terms of your retention and particularly those first few vulnerable months. Because we also know that the average month on membership is 4 to 6. That's just across the fitness industry and the yoga world. We know that data. So what are you doing in like month 3 to make sure you can get people to month 4? And if you know what your average months on membership is, for example, if you know for you yourself, if your KPIs tell you that your average month of membership is 5, then what are we doing in month 4 to make sure we can get people beyond that month 5, right? Because think about this, if you could get, let's say your average months on membership is 4, if you could move that to your average months on membership, I'm talking about for your individual studio, even to 5. And if you could get half the people that cancel to stay one more month on membership, what does that represent in revenue? And again, it can be thousands of dollars over the course of a year, or tens of thousands of dollars over the course of the year, just by getting people to stay one more month or 2 more months, just increasing that time they stay on membership, right? So circling back to, but if they're ready to cancel, then you probably already lost them. So let's take the burden of canceling that membership. A lot of times it's like, oh, email the studio and we'll take care of it. And then there's like some back and forth. Oh, did you know if you try to save it with like a downsell, like, oh, well, maybe a 10-pack or our auto renew 4-pack might be a better option. Well, you're just going away for the summer. Well, did you know you could suspend it? Right? All of those things, those are just admin time going back and forth via email. Where if you had that set up on your website, where they go to the website to make their change, and then they answer some questions, and based on their response, it's like, oh, okay, yes, here's the thing to buy. Oh yeah, I want to suspend. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, well, I can now suspend. How long do you want to suspend? So that way, by the time the admin person gets involved, whoever your membership person is who does this, they know exactly that, okay, Terry wants to downgrade, he does want to cancel. And so that eliminates all that back and forth. And it just makes it, I already know exactly what Terry wants to do, and I don't need to confirm it with her via email. And so it just takes, again, it's reducing the amount of admin time. And if you have a lot of members, and we do have clients that have hundreds of members, then it's saving a ton of admin time by automating it through the website. So those are just some things that I've been working on with some of my clients, just to look at processes. And I've talked about this before, and I remember sitting at a Mind Body Bold conference, I don't know, it was maybe 2017, 2018, and talking about, technology and things like that, and leaning into, and I really like this idea of leaning into technology to take care of things so that you can automate things and have systems in place for things, so that then your most valuable asset, which is your human resources, so that the people, whether it's the teachers or the front desk or whomever, managers, they are doing value things as opposed to just processing membership cancellations. So this is where leveraging technology to free up human resources to do the things that will get you to that retention, will get you to more people coming in the studio, more people staying longer, and building that vibrant community. So where can you leverage technology? And this is, Mara made a great post this week about SOPs. And then that's another part of your business is getting your SOP set up. I've been working with clients. We've been doing up a lot with that, with the membership SOP and things like that. And the SOPs are just really how to run the business so that everybody is automating as much as you can and making it very systematized. So it's super easy for people to come in and do their job. So they're not wasting time trying to find things or how does this get done or how does this get done. It helps when you're training new people, right? It helps when someone's out on vacation or is out sick, or heck, when you want to go away, right? So that everything is in place. I also like, I've talked about this before, calling it, instead of SOPs, the alien abduction manual, right? Especially for you as the owner. If you do want to go away, or if something were to happen to you, would someone be able to step in and run your business? And that's what SOPs are for. So I guess that's it. I could sit here and just talk into cyberspace, but post below about what did you think about the conversation on what story are you telling about your business, right? What do your ads look like? Where are you struggling? What successes have you had? Do you have a great ad you'd like to share that you've got a lot of response on? And one thing we didn't really talk about with Vicky too is once the ads are set up, and maybe we'll talk more about, I'll make a note, talk about this next week, is how do you monitor the ad, right? Making sure you're monitoring the ads to see what's the performance there. We talked a little bit, I think, about this last week, A/B testing, things like that. So it's not just like put the ad out there. It's like put the ad out there and then look at the results, look at the analytics. Are you getting what it needs? Do you need to tweak it? Right. And that goes for like your emails and things like that you send out. Here's a challenge for you. When was the last time you reviewed your sales funnel to see, are you getting the opens? Are you getting the clicks? Right. And if not, then maybe changing up some of those emails. Right. So anyway, I hope post your thoughts, comments below. Have a great weekend.